In this segment, we're going to learn about creating a My OSF and how to use the appropriate setting to create the appropriate level for your application. The first thing we have to know is what type of OSF do we want to create. We have 3 different levels. Level 0 creates a file that will overwrite your default settings in the tool and will use can be used for all symbols and intervals. So it's basically more of a global file type that can be used on anything. One thing, this comment here about default settings, if you've loaded the tool and you've changed some of the settings and you go to load a level 0 or any of these levels, if you have overridden the word default in your settings, the setting in the file will not be applied. It will apply the setting that you replaced when you modified the settings for the tool, and I'll show you that in more detail. Level 0 is a file that's used for a specific interval. So maybe every time you use a 15-minute, you want to have a specific set of settings for that 15-minute interval. And that will be used if there is no OSF files for that symbol being used. So when we have a specific level 3 file, which has a specific interval and a specific symbol, that will always be loaded, even if the other files in the directory exist. So it looks for the most specific file first, which is level 3. And if there's no level 3, then it will look to see if you have specific level 1 specific interval file or a level 2 specific symbol file. So a recap is level 1 is for a specific interval. Level 2 is for a specific symbol. Maybe you always want to use the same settings for oil. And then level 3 is if you want to use a specific interval and a specific symbol. So maybe you have certain settings that you always want to use for, IBM on a daily chart. So now let's go to TradeStation and see how this all works. Okay, here's my TradeStation chart. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to create an OSF. So I'm going to go and I'm going to edit my studies. I'm going to edit the chart tool. And I'm going to go down here to the bottom. So the first thing is, where am I putting this file? So your My OSF directory, I have it here, and I'm putting it in a demo folder. And you can see that here's the same path, the demo folder. These are some level 0 OSFs that I already created. But I also created folders for level 1, 2, and 3. That personally helps keep me organized to make sure that I am loading the file that I desire to load. Because if I have a level 3 in here and I didn't want to load a level 3, I wanted to use the level 0 files, it just helps me personally keep things more straight, but you can organize things as you choose. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a level 3 file. Okay, and so I'm going to copy this address and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put this in. Okay, so now I've got my path in. Now I'm going to go down here to the creation settings, and I want to create a level 3. I want to create rules, skins, and miscellaneous. And then I'm going to go down here, and I want to if you want to see what you've put into your OSF, you could use the dump setting and dump the file so you can see what actually got used. So we'll just go ahead and set that to true. Now let's go back up here and make a few changes. Okay, so I made a few changes here. I said I want to get rid of my swing highs, swing lows, my prior trend, my basing candles, and I'm going to go down here and change my band creation method to 5. And now I'm ready to generate my OSF. Okay, you can see here that I created my level 3 files. I've got the My Miscellaneous, I've got the X, which is my asset, and the 15-minute interval. So you can see I created a level 3, and then I have my settings here. Now we can see that we have our band creation method of 5, and we can go down and verify that we turned off the things that we wanted to turn off. We turned off our prior trend, for example, and we turned off our basing candles. We won't go through them all for the sake of time, but you can see that we've got our settings collected here. So now this is ready for you anytime you want to have these specific settings on X in a 15-minute interval.